Hello, my name's Gerry Ross. I'm a physiotherapist and I teach physiotherapy and practice in Ontario, Canada. I make these videos to help patients who are under my care, and some people might find them useful for general information purposes. Physiotherapy treatment or any type of treatment should be based on a detailed assessment and treatment plan formulated by a qualified individual. So it is strongly recommended that this be used only for general information purposes, and that if you have a specific condition or are seeking a way to improve your health, that you team up with somebody who's qualified, such as a general practitioner like a physician or a physiotherapist. And so this is just for purposes of Three, two, one. Hi, my name is Gerry Ross. I'm a physiotherapist. I teach physiotherapy and practice in Ontario, Canada. I make these videos to help the patients who are under my care, and some people may find that useful for general information purposes. Any kind of treatment that you pursue should be prescribed based on a detailed assessment of your current problem and your general health history. So it is strongly recommended that if you're viewing this and you're not one of my patients, and you wish to have a particular health condition attended to, that you seek out care from a qualified individual, such as a physiotherapist or a medical doctor. This video here is for demonstrating a routine that's quick to do, doesn't take much equipment, and is useful for people who sit a lot, and there's a lot of us out there. And so you don't need much equipment. You can do this on a mat. If you're going to do it on the floor, you should have some padding on it, like a quilt or a mat, something that takes your bony parts and keeps them from hurting when they hit the surface you're lying on. Another thing that would be good to have would be perhaps a pillow. How thick the pillow is depends on how well you can straighten out your rib cage or the area between your shoulder blades. You'll see that in a second. And another option that's kind of nice to have is a phone with an interval timer on it. When I'm doing some stretches to undo a day sitting at a desk, I like to not have to worry about how many reps I've done or how long I've held the position. I want to think about what my body's telling me and where I'm feeling different things, and if they're things I should be feeling. So I'm just going to go through it, and I'll speak of things that come to mind as I do it. It's going to be 3 maneuvers. One's called Cobra, it's also thoracic extension. The other one can be called Child's Pose. It's more hip, knee, and ankle flexion. And then the last one's going to be just lying on your back, crook lying spinal rotation. So I've got my little interval timer here set up so I can go through each maneuver 4 times, and each maneuver is going to be held for about 30 seconds. And a 30-second hold is associated with good results for people in their 30s, 40s, 50s. A little longer for people beyond that. You can do this just 1 repetition of each maneuver, which will take you like 4 minutes, or you can go through it 4 times, which is a little more associated with a greater likelihood of producing a change that's more permanent. But doing something is better than nothing. So whatever time you can make, I hope this is helpful to you. So we're going to do it. It's got a 30 seconds on, 5 seconds to change positions. Let's go. So I'm going to start with thoracic extension. I'm going to go for my elbows, and I'm going to keep my stomach on the ground, and I'm going to keep my shoulders down away from my ears, and I'm going to think about bending my rib cage around a point about halfway up my back, about halfway along the length of my shoulder blades. That's where people bend forward a lot. There's a natural forward bend there, but it becomes exaggerated when you're in a chair. Now, we'll just make a transition to something different. I'm going to put my feet flat. I'm going to fold my knees. And I'm going to have my hands out front, and I'm going to bring my shoulder blades together, okay? I'm going to think about a long spine, like the string is attached to the top of my head and pulling me that way. I'm going to bring my blades together, and I'm just going to breathe in a relaxed way. If I feel any irritation on the front of my shoulder, like in a small spot, like right there, I'm going to pinch my blades more. And we're going to go on to the next one. Spinal rotation. You see, 30 seconds goes by fast when you're having fun. I'm going to move my legs together to one side and my head another side. And I'm just going to relax. Now, you don't have to do this for just 30 seconds. You can do it as long as you feel you're getting some relaxation. That could be a minute, minute and a half. As long as you feel things giving up, that's good. I just did my right rotation of my lower body. I'm going to do the left rotation of my lower body now. Put my hands out like this. I'm going to turn my head away from you guys. Okay, so I get a nice spinal rotation. My waist is allowed to come off of what I'm lying on. My shoulder blades are fixed onto the area I'm lying on. I've got my arms out sideways and I'm pinching my blades together so they fit on the ground. My head's rotating opposite to where my knees are rotating. I'm talking a lot, but if I wasn't talking a lot, I'd be breathing in a deliberate way. So I'm going to go and start the whole thing again. You can stop now if this is all the time you have, but it's better if you don't. You'll notice that I'm on my elbows here, okay? I can get a nice stretch out of my mid-back between my shoulder blades by doing this. It's often demonstrated with a person putting their hands under their shoulders and lifting up. And then you want to keep your shoulder blades away from your ears, and you want to make sure that you're sticking your chest out. Because it can happen where you bend backward from your low back, and that's all you bend backward from. And your rib cage doesn't bend backward very much at all. Going back again, I'm going to modify. I'm going to do different than the last time. I'm going to put my knees apart, and I'm going to put my feet as far apart as my knees, so my shins are in a straight line, parallel to one another. And I'm going to let my tummy sink down into the bed or the mat. I'm still pulling my blades together. I'm relaxing around my hips so I can get a nice stretch in my hips. And if my feet are as far apart as my knees, I get a really nice stretch in my hips. Okay, time to go back onto my back. Now I'm going to do something a little more aggressive. I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to cross it over my right leg. I've got my hands out sideways here and way over I go. Head's over to the left, my lower half's over to the right. I can feel a little bit more of a stretch in my back pocket area, my left side. So I'm getting a little bit of what's called hip adduction with this. And I'm going to get a bit of more aggressive spinal rotation. Okay, I'm down here. Might as well do the other side. Crossing my right over my left, sorry. Turning my head to the right. My lower body's going to the left. If I breathe and relax and things fall further into this position, that's okay. If I feel sharpish discomfort, I'm going to back off a bit because muscles are just going to get in the way. They're going to guard me, and I want to have nice, relaxed muscles so all the tissues that are all stuck can get unstuck. Okay. I don't remember what round this is. I think it's round 3. But that's what's cool about using a timer. You don't have to worry about anything. It just counts it out for you. I like going from my elbows. You might be more bendable than me, so go ahead, go from your hands. But make sure if you go from your hands, you're not just bending backward around your low belt line, your low back, your belt line. Make sure you're sticking your chest out. Maybe even tuck in your chin. Notice I'm tucking my chin. I'm not raising my chin up. It's going straight back. But never aggressively. Always nice and smooth. This time I'm going to put my knees together. What's going to happen is I'm still going to bend my hips quite a bit, but not as much as if my knees were apart because my belly's going to hit my thighs. But what's going to happen is my low back, my belt line, is going to get what's called forward flex. It's going to get rounded a little bit, which I might want to do. If it feels good, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think I've got another round after this. So the next round, I'm going to put my knees apart and my feet apart the same way. And that'll stretch my hips out a little bit more because I felt I needed that more. Here we go. Oh, and here, sorry about that. If you have a rounded upper back, and when you put your head on the ground, lying on a flat surface, your chin's way away from your chest. Don't let that happen. Just put a pillow underneath as thick as you need to keep your face parallel to the ceiling. Because if your head rolls over backward a lot, you're going to kink your neck. And if your upper back is stuck and causes your neck to kink, well, so be it for now. You can work away at alleviating that slowly over time. But if you don't have the upper back, what they call extension or ability to unround, that you need to get your head to sit on the ground properly and not be cranked over backward, well, just give it time and work at it slowly. Rushing is not your friend when you're trying to make your body do something it's not used to. Even if it's healthy, if you try to rush it, it will not like it. And we're back into, I think this is our fourth round. I'll talk a little bit about the full Cobra pose, or full Gumby pose, I like to call it. Gumby was a character from a long time ago that was super flexible. I really have to think about pulling my chin and sticking my chest out in order to get this to be felt between my shoulder blades. If I don't do that, I feel it all in my belt line. And it's very common, at least in my practice that I have, that people bend backward from their low back a lot. A lot of people have a pretty big hollow there. And so, do you really want to accentuate that? Especially when that hollow down at the belt line is countered by a big rounded rib cage. So I'm kind of a fan for my stage of life and my flexibility pattern to do that Cobra pose from my elbows. Thinking about my blades coming together. And here's a demo again of how to use a pillow. I guess everybody's supposed to encourage people to put things in the comments. So put in the comments if you saw that when I didn't have a pillow, my head was bent over backward. Does my head look better now with a pillow or without a pillow? Or is there much difference? You know? Now I'm all self-conscious. Tucking my chin in. So, now I won't be so self-conscious. Okay, here I am. Just so you can see, there's my head without a pillow. I think my head's rolled over backward a bit. And here's my head with a pillow. Now I think my head's nodded a little bit. So I think I'm going to take the pillow out, and put my chin in, and then rotate my head with my chin in a little bit. That feels good. That feels like what I need to do. Let 30 seconds pass away there. Focus on what I'm feeling. And there, the timer I used on my phone, you use whatever you want, but it was called a simple interval timer, SIT. And so far I've found it to work okay. Hope this is helpful to you. Remember, if you have specific goals, get some qualified help. Make sure that they walk with you in your journey to get you to a better place. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. Keep on trying to be helpful, trying to be healthy.